Factoring is something we'll use a lot this year, so I'm going to try to explain as best I can through this video here. And we'll start with the most basics. There's a bunch of stuff you can do, but we'll start with GCFs and trinomials. So first things first, what does it mean to factor something? The word factor is essentially something to do with multiples. So if you picture the number 34, you were told a long time ago to break this into its prime factorization. So the factorization there means break it into multiples that go into 34. So 34 is 2 times 17. That's all you can do. These are both prime numbers, so you'd stop there. But these are both factors of that number, and this is the factorization, or the factored form of that value. You can do the same thing with bigger numbers, like 72, for example. That splits into 9 times 8, and you can go a little further with those. 9 is 3 and 3, 8 is 2 and 4, and then that's another pair of 2's as well. So the fastest way to write this would be 3 squared multiplied by 2 cubed. But this is the same idea. You're breaking a number down into its smallest multiples, and that's what a factor means. It's just what multiples go into that value. So it gets a little more complicated when you get into variables, because these aren't just numbers anymore. Now there's different groups linked together. But the most basic way to factor is by removing a GCF, or a greatest common factor. Essentially, in each of these piles here, this is one group, that's another, split by a plus sign. You're looking to see what goes into both things, what multiples appear in both items at the same time. So if you really had to, you could write it out as 3 times x. 12 in its prime factorization is 3 times 2 times 2. So you're looking to see what matches. Obviously there's a pair of 3's in there, and you probably knew that even before you did all this work. But the pair of 3's can be brought to the front of the problem, and then whatever's left is what you'll write on the inside. So x is still there, the plus is still there, 2 times 2. Let's put that back together and make that 4. So this is the most basic form of factoring. Is just pull out any numbers that are the same, or any variables that are the same, and if you redistributed that, 3 times x gets you back to 3x, 3 times 4 gets you back to 12. You can test that and just make sure you don't make a mistake. It should be reversible and go back to this as well if you wanted to do that. And problem 2, it's the same idea. If you actually took the time to write it all out, it wouldn't hurt. You can see all the parts that go into 10x squared are right here. 5x is the same idea. 5 and x go into those. And you're looking to see what matches. We do have 5's, so let's bring that to the front. We do have a pair of x's. Let's bring those to the front. And then whatever's left will go on the inside. So we still have a 2, we still have an x, we still have a plus. There's nothing left from this, so we do write the number 1 to hold the place of that value. Otherwise, if you redistributed it, there would be nothing here to get you back to having a solid 5x. So just remember, if everything gets crossed off, there's technically always a times 1 sitting on the end there. It's usually not needed, but it is technically always there. So this is for GCFs, most basic form of factoring, just looking for in each group what you can do and pull out to the front. The next type we'll do is the trinomials, when you have a squared, a normal x, and a solid number. And just these could have been in 3. I put them in 2 to make it simpler, but you can have 3 and still have a GCF. In this case, though, there is no GCF of all these numbers. This is x times x. This is 2 times 2 times 2x. This is 2 times 3 times 2x. Actually, no x there. So nothing is common throughout the whole thing. There's x's here and there, but not in the third one. There's 2's here and there, but not in the first one. So that won't do us any good. We'll have to actually look at this from a different perspective. Okay? So if we can't pull out one solid number, our next course of action is to try to break it down into 2 individual groups. And you've probably seen this before. The idea is these 2 x's, if you FOILed this out, would turn back to x squared. So we're kind of undoing the FOIL method. X times x gets us x squared. The question is, how do these 2 numbers come out of the FOIL process? So let's just put the answer and kind of reverse it to see why it works. It turns out that this answer is going to be x plus 2 and x plus 6. And here's why. If you actually did the FOIL method, x times x gets you x squared, x times 6 is 6x's, 2 times x gets me 2x's, and 2 times 6 gets me 12. So if you recombine these middle terms, you get back to 8, so it does turn back into this at the end. So what you're looking for when you're trying to figure this part out is kind of doing the reverse FOIL method in your head. The idea is that these 2 numbers will generally add up to this value, while also multiplying to be 12. So that's kind of the shortcut way of doing it. It does get a bit more complicated if there's a number sitting in front here, but if it's simple like this, these two numbers will add up to be the middle term while also multiplying to be 12. And again, you can always test it at the end. If you get your answer here and you don't think it's right, just redo the distributed property, refoil it out, and check it and see if it makes sense there. So let's do a couple practice problems and that'll be it for this. Practice here. This one's going to end up as a GCF. There's a 2 and the 4 and the 14, so bring the 2 to the front. They both have an x, let's bring that to the front. When I take that away, there's a 2x still here, and a minus and a 7 on that. And again, that's all you can do with that one. Redistribute it if you want. Check it. It should be okay. In problem 2 here, again, this one has no GCF. There's no number or x in all of these, so we can't take anything out from the whole group. But we can look to see if I can make it into 2 groups. Again, I always just start with this. I just put 2 x's because I know that's what's going to create my x squared. And then I just try to think of what numbers will multiply to be this value while also adding to be this value. Now, since this is a negative, one of these is going to be plus and one of these is going to be minus. And to make a 10, my only combos are either 1 with 10 or 2 with 5. In terms of multiples, 2 and 5 is going to be what gets me a difference of 3. So minus 5 and plus 2. So again, look for the different ideas here. Sometimes a GCF is possible, and you can also have that with 3 groups. So I could have 2x squared plus 10x plus 8 or something, and all of those still do have a 2 that I could take out of them. So it's not necessarily just that there were 2 groups versus 3, but just look to see in all my different groups, are there numbers I can take out or variables I can take out before I start, and then you can continue from there. This one would still have the 2 there, x plus 4 and plus 1 if you actually wanted to keep it going all the way.